I'm Rachel Aileen Joe. Let's have a conversation today about beginner piano. I am going to take you through the Bastien Piano Basics books, Primer A and B, and demonstrate what we can learn from the Bastien Piano Beginner books about starting a piano journey as an adult. These beginner books reveal the exact steps needed to successfully learn how to play the piano. In the United States, it is recommended that children start piano lessons at age 9. But if learning piano is similar to learning the alphabet, learning how to put those letters into words and read, that's like complete information overload. There is so much to learn. Learning the piano has mostly been inaccessible for most people. Now we have technology that allows us to buy inexpensive electronic keyboards and resources like YouTube that give us access to quality, free instruction. As a music teacher, I saw the joy that playing the piano brought to my students ages pre-K through 5th grade. This is the reason I created my ear training naptime music for babies, pre-K piano activity, and note alphabet resource. You can find my videos and playlists for my naptime music, pre-K piano activity, and the note alphabet resource for readers at my YouTube channel at Music Class 101 so that they can start the journey towards learning the piano. I love this book and I use this book. And this book has a lot of wear and tear because I have just used it for so many years. I always keep a copy at my house in case my students forget theirs, and obviously they've forgotten it a few times. I want to talk to you about how beginners are taught from the very beginning. And this book is a great example. As we open the book and start turning the pages, we can see that the book covers posture, the posture of how you sit and the hand position that you will be using. It also reviews the finger numbers. We are now learning the difference between the black keys and the white keys and the number pattern of the black keys. And then, of course, the low side of the piano and the high side of the piano. Then the student starts to learn rhythm, basic vocabulary, quarter notes, half notes, bar lines, measures, and the double bar line. Now we see the music vocabulary in motion, okay? We also learn about stems and note heads. And look at what they're learning. Finger technique. Finger technique is the first thing that the students do on the piano. They start learning where the note alphabet is and they learn how to move their fingers. Hold up. Both child and adult beginner piano students need to develop finger technique first. So if we continue turning the page, this is page 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 21 pages. Okay, half of this first book. The first complete half of the first book is finger technique. Beginner piano students need to develop finger technique first. What this is telling us is that for the beginner student, you need to be working your finger technique. You need to know what the numbers of your fingers are, and you need to be able to move all of your fingers. Up to page 21, every page gradually adds another finger, systematically working on finger technique. So what does that mean for us as an adult learner? Well, that means you need to be working on memorizing the note alphabet and practicing scales. That is the first and most important thing for you to learn and accomplish. If you go straight in to reading the staff, your progress is going to feel that much slower, and you might get discouraged, and you might start thinking, what's wrong with me? It's because all of a sudden you are learning a language. When a child goes to pre-K or kindergarten, they systematically learn every letter of the alphabet, one letter at a time. And then you learn how to put those letters into words. And then we see the different patterns of letters creating different words. It's the same thing with this. Look for my practice playlists on finger technique that will help you improve your finger coordination and dexterity. So the student really has to gain finger dexterity, because if you don't have finger dexterity, it's like the foundation. That's the first thing you have to develop. If you don't have finger dexterity, and now you continue on just looking at the letters, the alphabet letters, now you're going to be struggling to move your finger to the letter. The next half of the book, leading into the grand staff, is the numbers aren't there anymore, just the letters. So now the students have to know where the note alphabet is on the piano keyboard. 4 pages later, now we see a song that resembles the music staff. Now we see right hand and left hand. So it's resembling the music staff. We are gradually making our way to the grand staff. The book also gradually adds time signatures, which teach timing and a steady beat. So we see this for 4 pages. So we only have 4 pages of just the alphabet letters. Then after that, we have 4 pages where we're looking at the right hand and left hand, resembling a simplified version of the grand staff. Now I'm going to go to page 26, and we are in the staff, the 5 lines and the spaces. And we are going to start learning how to read these notes. In my experience, when the students get here, this is where it starts to get difficult. This is where it starts to slow down. So we need to keep drilling the note alphabet to make sure that they are ready for the staff. I supplement the Bastien Beginner books with my note alphabet page resource. These are fun, familiar songs that reinforce the note alphabet on the piano keyboard. A link in the description will take you to this downloadable note page. The note alphabet needs to be memorized backwards and forwards on the white keys. Finger technique needs to have fluency when you get to this place. If you are wanting to read the music staff, continue to work on your scales and chords if you're reading chord charts, because that's music theory. It'll still continue to help you with this. Now I'm going to share with you how I reinforce reading the music staff through sight reading. Beginner piano books need to be supplemented with additional sight reading to reach a proficient level of note and staff reading. No one method will be sufficient on its own. This is where an expert piano teacher is needed to observe, diagnose, and drill the student until the note reading skills are mastered. Sight reading is what students do at school when they are learning the alphabet. Their teachers have them practice their letters, and then they work on sight words, okay? And then they look at the words, they sound out the letters. It's the same thing as this. We're here in the book, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. Only 4 songs. Only 4 of the treble clef. Only 4 songs. Now imagine your child is in first grade and your teacher has 4 flashcards. Is your child going to master those words with 4 flashcards? That's what these songs are like. These songs are like flashcards. When a child goes to piano class and their assignment is to learn a song, and they learn it, but they memorize it, they're not going to actually be remembering what this all represents, because it takes a lot of drilling, okay? A lot of drilling. Okay, let's see how many pages there are for the bass clef in this book. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 songs. 4 songs. Every note is like a letter. All the notes come together. We're looking at the same notes, but we're seeing them in different patterns. Only 4 songs. That's not enough. My heart breaks for all the students who have quit piano because they were not drilled properly on the foundational skills. They thought that they weren't good enough and they gave up. It is a musical tragedy when a student takes lessons for 5 or more years as a child and cannot remember how to play as an adult. Only 4 songs? That's not enough. So, as a teacher, I have to supplement my students with sight reading. Learning how to sight read the grand staff is enriching to your piano journey. Learning to read music will help solve the timing and steady beat issues that you may have. I recommend the Bastien Beginner book for both children and adults. Links to where you can get the Bastien piano books will be in the description. Now, after 4 pages of bass clef, we are in the grand staff. And in this book, right hand and left hand do not play together. They still play separately. So let's see how many pages we have now of the grand staff. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 songs. And in these 9 songs, we are learning all 7 notes in the note alphabet from G to F. Okay, here's middle C. So we are going from G to F. These notes in book 1. This book is put together so that if a student, a beginner 9-year-old student, starts in September, around the time that school starts, by December, they should be playing this song by Christmas. So that's about 3 months is the anticipated time it takes to get through this book. And the kids do get through it. They get through the book. Primer B acts mostly as flashcards for sight reading, gradually adding new notes and new music vocabulary. We also see that the hands are still playing separately. We do not see the hands playing together until halfway through the book. The takeaway for adult learners is that it just takes a long time to gain finger coordination and dexterity. Don't give up. Students and teachers can get frustrated by the drudgery and monotony of mastering sight reading the grand staff. The way to keep things fun is to have fun recital pieces to work up. Often these recital pieces would be considered too difficult for the student, but success can be achieved by simplifying how they learn the song. The student needs to feel a sense of accomplishment and enjoyment in order for them to want to continue playing the piano. It takes children who are learning to read about 4 years to gain reading fluency. Achieving fluency with note reading also takes about 4 years. The way to gain this fluency is through sight reading, looking at the notes in different patterns. Sight read every day. Memorizing songs is good for finger technique. To be a good sight reader, you need to read songs that you have not memorized every day. I cannot stress enough that beginner piano books need to be supplemented with additional sight reading for the student to reach a proficient level of note reading. Often, students appear to be proficient in sight reading because they are performing well, but it is because they have memorized their pieces and each new song is like starting over. There is a shortage of proficient piano accompanists today. Let's teach our students to sight read with fluency. Thanks for watching.